Independent thoughts, independent life. This is Chad Benson.
Do you think it's possible that they shredded ballots in Fulton County? 'Cause
no.
That's what the rumor is. And also that Dominion took out machines.
No, Dominion has not moved any machinery out of Fulton County.
Have they moved the inner parts of the machines?
No.
And replaced them with other parts?
No.
You sure, Ryan?
Yes.
I'm sure.
I took about a week and a half or so off. God bless you. I hope you guys had a great New Year. Hope you guys had a great Christmas. And I joked over the weekend. I said, well, I'm going to start reading some news. Because I did nothing. I didn't watch any news. I didn't do anything. I relaxed, spent time with the kids. We did a bunch of stuff. It was a very relaxing time. And I did nothing. I don't really do anything anyways. But I did extra nothing as far as watching things. I watched some movies. I didn't do anything. I thought, well, when I get back, we got the Georgia runoff. They're going to go and they'll finally vote on the Electoral College, and then we'll move into, Biden, and this election's over. We are 2 months past, basically. So we had all November, all December. Here we are into January 2021. He's still fighting this thing, and it's getting weirder and wilder. And this call to the Secretary of State and to everybody else that was on this call the other day is disturbing. I don't care if you like Trump or not. You have to be honest with yourself about some of this stuff.
People of Georgia are angry. The people of the country are angry. And there's nothing wrong with saying that, that you've recalculated. So, look, all I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have, because we won the state.
No, you didn't. You haven't proved anything out. Department of Justice has found nothing. Every time you guys go to court, you get blown out of court. You have had nothing. Nothing. And over, they continue to point that out. I don't hate Trump, but I hate this. This is insane. This is unsettling. Just recalculate. Tell him I won. That is not how we do it here. Sorry. Truth matters, sir. Period. Case closed. Truth matters. It does. This is disturbing. Out of all the things that Trump has done, I didn't buy into the Russia stuff. I didn't buy into a lot of the crap that, the media throws around because Trump likes to fight. And he says some things, and then they run with it because that's what we do. That's how we live. That's who we are now. But to me, this is the most disturbing. And no matter how many times they debunked, how many times they told him that's not true, it did not matter.
We debunked the one about, through State Farm Arena. We debunked that with WSB here in Atlanta. Ware County, they reported 26% difference. It was actually 0.26%. So we've continued to debunk this. We believe that truth matters. Truth matters.
That's Rassenberger. That is the guy. That is the guy who is a Trump guy, who's the Secretary of State guy. That is the guy that oversaw all of the election in Georgia. That is the dude, the man, who's a Trump guy. And it still doesn't matter. Some of this stuff he said is just, it's crazy. And I want to know, well, that's what we're being told. Who's telling you stuff? Who?
Here they're shredding thousands and thousands of ballots. And now what they're saying, we're just cleaning up the office. I don't think that plays.
Well, Mr. President, the problem you have with social media, people can say anything.
No, this isn't social media. This is Trump media.
Again, they can say anything. It doesn't make it so. You can say anything you want. It doesn't make it so. It doesn't. I mean, some of this stuff is nuts. Republican Adam Kinzinger. It's very interesting. Talks about, we're going to touch throughout the day a lot of the stuff that he talked about. But, as he breaks down some of these crazy, wacky things about, like Dominion.
So now let's get into Dominion. Dominion servers are not housed in foreign countries. There was a story out there saying that in Michigan, Dominion was switching 6,000 votes from Donald Trump and giving them to Joe Biden. That's false. There was an error, but it was a human error, not a Dominion issue. And it was corrected. Plus, the county at the center of this falsehood, it's a Republican county with Republican elected officials. So just think about that one.
But people can't. They can't. They can't wrap their head around because they saw rallies and they thought, oh, my God, there's 12,000 people for Trump and 8 people for Biden. I said, and? Well, that shows you that, that shows you that they love Trump. If you watch the rallies that are out there that were Black Lives Matter, if you saw a lot of rallies out there throughout the summer and protest, those are anti-Trump protests in a lot of way, anti-Republican protests in a lot of way. You never think of it that way. The fact that they're even talking about undoing some of this election or trying to, it should scare you. It should. If you've got proof, you prove it in court. Yes, we need to do a postmortem on every election. We need to go through it. We need to break it down. We need to find out what we did wrong, what we can do better, things that we did right, and how we make sure that we do that more often. But this kind of stuff, sorry, kids, this is not good. We'll just find other votes. Doesn't work that way. Well, you can just go out there and find other stuff. No. Sorry. That's a negative. We have a democracy. We have a democratic republic here, and this is our democracy. People voting, and you're talking about just go out and find. Everybody knows. People are disenfranchised. You're going to get that every election. People are going to feel like, well, I'm not part of the any of this because I didn't vote for that person. We've got to figure this out, people. We do. Got to get our heads out our butts. 323-538-20. What was it again? I forgot. 23, 24, 28, 29, 24. Remember? Yeah, that's 24, 23. But, man, I shut off, people. I'm telling you guys. Shutting off was great. It was needed. And here's something else. I'm going to break it to you. Went to my doctor's, had an antibody test. I had it at some point in time. Doesn't know when. I had it. You had the vid? I did. I had the vid. Don't know when. Again, a lot of people, and people say, well, did you feel anything weird? Were you sluggish or tired? I work. I was up this morning at about 2:30, and I boxed for about half an hour, then jumped in the jacuzzi in the shower, and boom, got here to work, and I will get home tonight at 7. And in between, I'll probably go for a run. So I'm kind of always sore and tired. So how would I have known? That's what he told me. He goes, yeah, you're right. There's always some fatigue in a lot of what I do. But it was just the whole thing was weird. And he said, hey, I want to try it again because we gave you an antibody test a while ago. And it was the first one. And this was several months ago. And, and I said, okay, let's do it. And sure enough. So you just don't know. You don't. What I do know is the rollout has been a joke. The thought of getting 20 million people vaccinated by the end of last year, which was just several days ago, ended up being
Where is the breakdown in the distribution chain, and how does it get fixed?
We're a couple of days away from the end of the year. We're obviously not going to hit our 20 million target. The issue here in my mind is twofold. There's a little bit of getting the vaccines to states, but the biggest problem is getting the vaccines from the states into people's arms. There's a lot of steps, and there just hasn't been much planning. There hasn't been much investment. We're starting to see departments of health that are really stretched, and it's going much more slowly than I think the federal authorities thought it would.
Yeah. That's Dr. Jha on the breakdown just before the end of the year. The thought process, we'll have 20 million people vaccinated. Well, that hasn't happened. Hasn't even come close. What do you get, like 5 million people? 5 million is not 20 million. And, here's something else. A lot of healthcare workers are like, nah, we don't want it. We're not going to do it. We're going to just. People ask me, would you take it? I said, yeah. I said, now, having had it and I've got the antibodies, I will push myself to the back of the line because at this point, let other people that need it, before me. It's just a very interesting thing on how bad we failed. And one of the reasons is it's because we're spending more time trying to undo an election. And the president has just basically left everything out there just to dangle while he goes up and tries to do whatever it is he's trying to do. And it's going to get uglier before it gets better. That's the reality of this. 2021 is here. It's going to be a better year, but it's going to start off rocky. It's going to be this is what I predict. This is the flight pattern of 2021. Ding! Hey, everybody. We're going to keep our seats on as we climb, and through the first hour or two of this flight, it's going to be a long flight. It's going to be 12 hours. We're flying to Europe or somewhere cool. We're going to let you know. We're going to run into some turbulence, but after we get through the first few hours of these, we're going to have little ups and downs. It's going to be nice and smooth, nothing we can't handle, but it could be ugly, and then we're going to be on a smooth glide ride the rest of the way there. The good news is a tailwind, so we may get there a little early. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us. Hope you had a good Christmas, New Year. Hope you got everything your little heart desired. I got some cool stuff. We'll talk about that. New Year's here. What's it really going to look like? More on coronavirus, more on that crazy phone call. A lot of stuff to get to. AMAC, Association of Mature American Citizens, fastest growing over 50 organization in the country. Just a great organization fighting on your behalf for things like cancel culture. Make sure that stuff it doesn't continue to move forward. The craziness that you see out there with let's get rid of the Second Amendment and the First Amendment or change things up. They fight for that. On top of that, common sense immigration reform, things like Medicare and Social Security, making sure it's solvent in there for you. And they've got great benefits, retail, restaurant, hotel discounts, and so many more. And these things are great because when we get back to normal, which will be sooner rather than later, I predict, God willing, it's going to be awesome. It is. You can take advantage of these. And I did, especially with movies. Took huge advantage with movies because you get like 50% off in a lot of movies. And that's awesome. Join now. Go to amac.us/Chad. Pennies a day for you. amac.us/Chad. amac.us/Chad. Again, pennies a day. Chad Benson Show.
The Chad Benson Show, where we reach across the aisle and occasionally poke someone in the eye.
A London court has ruled that the founder of WikiLeaks, Julian Assange, cannot be extradited to the US. Assange is wanted over the publication of thousands of classified documents dating back to 2010. The judge in the UK blocked the extradition request on health grounds over concerns of Assange's mental health and risk of suicide in the US. The US has 14 days to lodge an appeal.
I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, everybody's appealing to Trump. Hey, why don't you pardon him? He may or may not do it. I don't think we're ever going to get him or Snowden over here. I just don't think we will. You know, it's kind of like Mark Rich before this may be the most controversial pardon. And he was pardoned by Clinton on the last day. His wife gave a ton of money to the Clintons and they helped raise money when they were in their campaigns. And there was $1 million donation and there was a lot of different things. And Mark Rich, through the oil embargo and a bunch of other things, he lived in Switzerland the rest of most of his life, really, as adult life. He was pardoned, but he never, ever, ever, ever took that pardon and saw what happened. He never returned to the soil. Not that Assange ever would. Ed Snowden, maybe. I don't know. But the reality is at least for now, he's not going anywhere. People are pretty happy with that. It's weird because, like, you look at somebody like Edward Snowden and you think, is he a hero? In some ways, yes. Is he a villain? In some ways, yeah. In some ways, he was. To me, the fact that we were doing what we were doing, we were spying and doing that many things to our own people, is kind of scary. But in saying that, even if Trump pardons any of them, and this just isn't even about Britain, this is about whether or not, you know, obviously Assange will probably never come here. Edward Snowden may never come back. But this also goes a long way in, you know, testing out, are you going to travel other places where you could be snatched up and then brought to the United States? Not just Britain. Are you going to stay in Britain? Because remember when he lived in the Ecuador? He lived in the Ecuadorian embassy for several years. Could you imagine that? You live in the Ecuadorian embassy for several years. That's insane. I don't think you'll ever be extradited. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us. Text us. Love hearing from every single one. If you're new to the program, we got several stations starting today. If you're new to the program, we do a lot of texting. We have Twitter. We have Instagram. You can reach me directly. It's much easier. We're not a phone call type of people because at least we don't do that. But that text comes to me directly. It's that simple. So check it out. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Shows, your Twitter, your Instagram. Will you or won't you get the vaccine? How many shots do you need?
By just giving out one shot instead of two, we're going against what the endpoints were in the clinical trial. And there are assumptions about how long this immunity could last from just one shot.
Yeah.
I really do hope that this is considered.
So people are thinking, well, we only need one. This has always been my thing with the 2 shots. With 2 shots, that's kind of you think half the people are going to drop out just because they're too lazy to go get a second shot. We are a nation of convenience. If it is convenient for us, we'll go do it. If it is not convenient. So if it's across the street, yeah, I'll go do it. But if it's across town, maybe. If I have the time, I got the first one, we should be okay. But if I am across town tomorrow and I go and they say I can't have it, I may not be back for a couple weeks. I may just think, I'll kick it down the road. I'll kick it down the road. That's Dr. Patel talking about that. Some people do need what?
We really look at how we're going to ramp up doses because inevitably all these people are going to need to get their second dose hopefully without much of a lag.
And there's going to be plenty of that because I know us. If you want to get everybody vaccinated, put it in don't put it at Walgreens, put it at Starbucks. Put it at places that people really frequent. Chad Benson Show.
The Chad Benson Show.
Independent thoughts, independent life. This is Chad Benson.
I think it's a very bad idea. Let's be clear about what we're talking about here. We're talking about sending checks, the vast majority of which will be going to people who've had no loss of income whatsoever. Well, how and why does that make any sense at all? Oh, and by the way, when you bring this direct payment up to $2,000, the total cost is almost 2/3 of $1 trillion. It's over $600 billion, most of which, the vast majority of which will go to people who had no lost income whatsoever.
Yeah, there you go. Pat Toomey right there. 2,600, which is, who should get it? I don't know. You know, the battle of, hey, we gave, $10 million to Pakistan for gender studies. We gave X amount of dollars over here for why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? Well, we do it for several reasons. One of which is some of these things were laid out long ago. Do we need to be giving this much foreign aid to people? We do it because we try to keep their puppet regimes that fall apart at any time some sort of help. Doesn't always work. A lot of that money gets squirreled away. I'm not a big fan of it. I'm not saying that. Understand why we do it. Do I think the American people need more? No, I think there should be some sort of means test. But you give $2,000 to everybody, regardless of their income. Well, guess what? Some people, they need that money to survive right now because the coronavirus is kicking everybody's ass financially in a lot of places, especially certain industries. Maybe you give people the opportunity to decline, or maybe you send it to people who are like, you know what? This $2,000, it's found money. Let's go throw it in the economy. It's a possibility as well. Is that going to happen? Obviously not. I've already talked to a couple of people that said, I already got my stimulus money. I'm like, really? Yeah, already came in. Oh, cool. Good. There's no win. Every year we go through this, right? Every year we look at all the pork and the craziness, the bridge to nowhere, things of this nature that are inside of these things. Every year we go through it. This should be no difference. The difference, though, is coronavirus. The coronavirus is the difference, because every year we fight over stupid stuff like, why are we giving money to these people again? We don't really pay attention to it, because this year we have people who are literally starving. So during my vacation, took the little one to the park. We're hanging out at the park. And people are coming over and the kids are all there and we're goofing around and stuff. And I see the park is this little church. There's a food bank that comes by. It used to come by only on Wednesdays. It's there every day now, as far as they roll up this big 18-wheeler, and every single day now in my little community, people who are my neighbors roll through and get a couple boxes of food. People are struggling. And there is a trickle-down effect along the way. There's a trickle down. Whether it's one of those situations where you're directly affected by it, or whether it's one of those situations where you're still open, you're still working, but some of the products you need, that place is closed. So you're not getting your supply. The chain has been broken. There's a lot of different things that go into this. Do I believe that people need more money? Yeah. I think we could have done a little bit better. But at the end of the day, we always knew it was going to be one of those. What I would rather have seen is keep the $600 for unemployment and then just give everybody $1,000 checks. If you have to mean test them to make it feel that way, that's fine. And then next month that drops down, to $500 a week for unemployment, then to $400 a week for unemployment, and hopefully we're back to work somewhat in true capacity by April.
What they will need is smart, targeted aid, not another fire hose of borrowed money that encompasses other people who are doing just fine. Here's the deal. The Senate's not going to be bullied into rushing out more borrowed money into the hands of Democrat rich friends who don't need the help. We just approved almost $1 trillion in aid a few days ago. It struck a balance between broad support for all kinds of households and a lot more targeted relief for those who need help the most.
And one of the other things that frustrates a lot of people, it's done at the end of the year. So we've got this big omnibus bill, this giant bill with everything that we have to keep the government open all the way through next September. And that gets all tossed in there. What people would like, and there was 2 bills in this, but everybody only looks at it as one. What people want is a targeted, specific, singular, hey, this is what this is for. This is COVID relief. Here is what it is. You can decline if you make X amount of dollars. You can, whatever it is. People just want it simple. Why do we need to put all these things in there? Those things are going to be in there next year too, and the year after that, and the year after that. Those aren't going anywhere. But if you really want to help people and target people, unemployment's the place to do it. But you do it in such a way where you back down the unemployment. Again, start with 600, then go down to 500, then to go down to 400 if need be. And you do it at 30, 60, 90-day clips, whatever it is, while we get through this. It shouldn't be that hard. It shouldn't be. But it becomes hard because politics gets involved, and we all know politics, well, it's the thing that they do best. They don't fix things. They let problems either fester or cause some problems. Then they let that problem progress. Then they let politics comes in. And then, well, this is what makes them who they are. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Again, yesterday, or the call that was leaked. I've listened to a good portion of it. People are like, Trump didn't do anything wrong. Trump did some stuff in this call that, if you're honest with yourself, if you're a Trump fan, if Obama would have done this, let's say Romney beat him out in a few states, and Obama was pushing because he lost, and he's calling those Secretary of States saying, go find more votes, go out there and find more stuff.
People of Georgia are angry. The people of the country are angry. And there's nothing wrong with saying that, that you've recalculated. So, look, all I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have, because we won the state.
Well, you didn't win the state. But I want you for a second to step out of your echo chamber. Take a step back. Okay, so you've done that. You've taken a step back. You're not looking through the prism of your red or your Trump glasses or any of those things, and think to myself and yourself and everybody else. If Obama had done this, if there were phone calls with secretaries of states across the country saying, to 2 or 3 of the states, hey, go find me X amount of votes. They cheated. I know they cheated. Go find it. I've heard they cheated. I've been told they cheated. What would you think? What would you think? What did you think about the tarmac meeting with Clinton? Remember that? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember that. Oh, yeah, Attorney General just happens to be there in Clinton, Phoenix, on the tarmac, hanging out, talking, but it was no big deal about anything. We were just asking about our kids. What did you... Yeah, you would have thought, well, that's nefarious. Just be honest with yourself. If you can do that. A lot of people can't because they're so sold, they can't do it, they won't do it. They refuse to because it goes against everything that they believe. But if you could for a second step away and say to yourself, self, Is this right or wrong? How would I feel if it was Obama? How would I feel if this was Hillary? Just curious. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us, text the program.
We were hoping that as we ended December 31st, we will have had 20 million doses in the arms of individuals. And obviously, from the numbers that you've shown, that's not the case. Whenever you have a very large operation, such as trying to vaccinate an entire country, there always will be bumps in the road and hiccups about that. And as we get into the first week or so of January, we'll catch up quickly. And as we get into the middle of January, February, and March, we will be on the target.
Yeah, Dr. Fauci right there. I think we will, but I also think that there's going to be a couple, 6-8 weeks potentially of some real nastiness, of some serious nasty hospitalizations. I mean, here we had 17,000 one day reported. Now we don't know when those tests came in, but we're continuously seeing ridiculously high positivity rates in places like Arizona, California, other places where you're seeing the numbers go through the roof. And for me, who didn't know I had it, didn't know when I had it, still don't know, test positive for the antibodies, at the end of the day, I tried to do everything I could right. I wear my mask everywhere. I social distance by nature, so that's not really anything big. I don't go anywhere, and I go even less places than I did before. Because I work with several people who have comorbidities and who are in the office, and I respect them, and they feel more comfortable. I want to make them feel comfortable. This is about respecting other people as much as it is, I'm fighting for whatever. The reality is me, pretty active guy as far as working out and doing stuff, but I don't go to my gym anymore. I play a lot of soccer because it's that kind of year, too, where I can get out there and run around, and it's not 310 degrees. But hit golf balls and do stuff like that. But I don't hang out with anybody. I rarely see too many people. I see my lizards, my family, and that's about it. So this thing, it's real. Never once said it wasn't real. Now, in saying all of that, was it overhyped? Yes. At times it was absolutely overhyped. Was it poorly run by certain states? Yes. Did people make mistakes? Absolutely. By the way, it's not just us. We love to damn ourselves that we're the worst and everybody else is so much better. It's not true. Look at Britain. No matter how much they try to shut it down, it's not doing anything. The UK is under some serious pressures, getting ready to go to a super double triple lockdown. Italy, same way. A lot of other places still having serious issues. And this might be one of those things where it's, and I've said this, it's probably endemic more than pandemic. It might be here, and no matter what you do, it may never be enough. And that's frustrating for a lot of people. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us, text the program. Love hearing from all of you. Tell you what, she meant a lot to me. She passed away. Pretty much everybody my age, a little bit younger, a little bit older, probably had a poster of her. We'll touch on that straight ahead. Chad Benson Show.
Running with scissors sounds great compared to this.
Say woo!
Here is the host of Jeopardy! Alex Trebek hosted the syndicated game show Jeopardy for over 36 years, and this week we'll see that come to an end. Trebek died from pancreatic cancer in November and taped episodes of Jeopardy until 10 days before his death. We'll see those final 5 shows this week, with the last one ever hosted by Trebek airing Friday. Then, starting a week from today, Jeopardy will feature guest hosts, starting with former champ Ken Jennings, until a replacement for Trebek is named.
Welcome. Good luck. Let's go to work.
Yeah. Imagine being the trivia question of who was the person who won the last Jeopardy that he hosts. 8,000 plus episodes he hosts of Jeopardy. So this is it. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I want to see how big the ratings are. Just to give you guys an example, like we think that the world revolves around politics and all this chaos and craziness, and you watch and see what the ratings are for Jeopardy this week. I think you'd be astonished to find out. You're like, oh my God. Are you serious? Oh yeah, it's that big. It's huge. It's massive. And it's going to be massive this week. And people are going to tune in over the next couple weeks as well. Well, who's going to be the next person? Who is it? Is it going to go with a comedian? Are they going to go with somebody unknown? Are they going to go with somebody known, but, I mean, like Ken Jennings? Are they going to go with Ken for good? They're going to go with somebody you're like, just an actor that is like, hey, you know, I'd rather do this. It's possible. But it's weird because it's about finding that person, because this is what happens now. Something big comes up, right? It's huge, big opportunity. Hosting Jeopardy is one of those things. We haven't seen something like this since Bob Barker stepped away. And you've got this opportunity now. So who is it? Who's it going to be? But we live in a different time. We live in a time now where the qualifications may not be how good you are on television, may not be how good you are with the contestants. It may be, what have you done in the past? 8 years ago, 7 years ago, 5 years ago, there was an offhanded quib that was something that you tweeted or texted somebody who's held something back that may prohibit you from getting this. It reminds me of the Tour de France. So, of all the sports that are dirty, or somewhat dirty, they've cleaned a lot of it up, but still, of all the sports that are dirty or have been dirty, baseball in the 90s, football in the 80s, nothing comes as close. I mean, nothing comes anywhere comparable to what racing is, bicycle racing. The Tour de France, the biggest of the big, the Super Bowl of racing. How many people test positive for something? Lance Armstrong fought it for years, but you go and look at some of the people that they tested. Like, all right, we tested this guy, he's a cheater, so we got to give it to the next guy. Nope, we tested him, he's a cheater, so we got to give it to the next thing you know, they're down there like, okay, the guy that rode the bike that filmed, he gets to win. We've run out of people. It's that kind of thing now. It's not whether or not you can do the job. It's whether or not somebody's got something on you and they're ready to spring it for the world, and then that's going to disqualify you for the gig. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us, text the program to every red-blooded, cisgender, heteronormative dude We lost a legend, a poster legend.
I was hoping we'd spend the evening together. Now I shall be all alone.
I doubt that.
Oh, Tanya Roberts died. Bond girl Stacey Sutton there in A View to a Kill. But she was also on That 70s Show, for those of you guys who remember that show.
Well, there are times when a mother has to be there for her baby, like now, and I guess when she's born.
She went for a walk. She was 65, still looked great. Came home. They said she collapsed and died. They rushed her to Cedars-Sinai Hospital. I'm not going to lie to you guys. She was smoking hot. I said it. She was hot. I had a poster on my wall. I did. Absolutely. How could you not? Right? In her, remember, like Beastmaster, that movie? Goodness me. Guys are going, yeah, I had that. I did too. I'm not going to lie to you, I did. Yeah. It's one of those things. You lose a legend of your posters and walls. Chad Benson Show.
This is the Chad Benson Show. Independent thoughts, independent life. This is Chad Benson.
Do you agree that the worst is still yet to come?
You know, I do. The reason I'm concerned, and my colleagues in public health are concerned also, is that we very well might see a post-seasonal, in the sense of Christmas, New Year's surge. And as I've described it, as a surge upon a surge, when you're dealing with a baseline of 200,000 cases, new cases a day, and about 2,000 deaths per day, with the hospitalizations are over 120,000, we're really at a very critical point.
That is Dr. Fauci. I think you recognize his voice. Yeah, critical point, of course. We're always at it. We've handled this in some ways adequately, but in a lot of other ways, we have absolutely dropped the ball. And this is a states thing. And because let's be real, we're going to get within a second. Trump, it's given up. He doesn't care anymore. It's about winning the election and you know, making sure that comes through. I think at the end of the day, for all that Trump has done, that I thought, hey, I like that. I liked what he's done here. This is a disaster. This has become a disaster. It has. And it's going to get uglier. People are tired. People are over it. I think a lot of people thought, well, it's a new year. We're just going to do our own thing. Still not gone anywhere. And it's still affecting people's lives financially, some of their health lives, obviously. There's a lot of things that it's affecting. Do I think it's going to be ugly? I think we're going to have some ugliness over the next several weeks. But I think it's going to then turn the tide. But a lot of that depends on the vaccine. Can we get it out? How fast are we going to get it out? Because we were told we were going to have 20 million people vaccinated, right? We were told we were going to have 20 million people vaccinated by the end of December. Then we were going to have 30 million people this month, or 20, maybe 20, 25 this month, and maybe next month about the same. So we're getting to the point where, like, wow, that's awesome. We weren't anywhere close to that. I mean, we were far away. And I don't know how many people are going to get vaccinated. I mean, you go and look at the healthcare industry. The healthcare industry is saying, yeah, 1 out of 3 are saying they're not going to get vaccinated. That's kind of a scary situation. Now, some of them build up T-cell immunity. Some of them probably already have immunity in some way, shape, or form. I understand that. A lot of people want to give this thing the opportunity to see what it looks like after several weeks and months. But we have fallen short of even getting to the point where we're getting enough dosages out there. How many are available?
What we said our goal was actually to have 20 million first doses available in the month of December. Those are available, but there's a lag between doses being available, them being ordered by the providers and the states.
That's also been a kind of a weird thing. Some states are like, we thought we were getting X amount, and we only got this. Other states are saying, hold on a second. You told us we were getting that much, and then you gave us this much. What's the deal? You've got these providers who say, hey, we've got warehouses full of these things. Why isn't anybody doing anything with them? Why aren't they getting them out there to people? It's been a very frustrating rollout. I expect some frustration. This has just been an absolute crap show. Now, it's up to you if you get it. I have never once said, and I never will, tell you to get something. You do you, whatever that is. But if we want to get to that point of somewhat herd immunity, we're going to have to start doing some things. Because I don't know about you, I'm over the lockdown. I'm over walking to my car after I got to the store and forgot that I didn't put my damn mask on. And I'll tell you this, you guys haven't heard, I tested positive for the antibodies. At some point in time, I had it. How long will they last? I don't know. If it's like SARS, people are saying people who got SARS 17 years ago still test positive for the antibodies. What about the vaccine? I don't know how long that's going to last. But I'm frustrated, as are a lot of people. I'm frustrated watching sports with no fans. I'm frustrated of watching movies at home when I'd rather see some of these things in the theaters. Some of them are only worth home movies. I'm frustrated with a lot of different things, as are you. So we better figure out how we get there sooner rather than later. But the fighting with each other is a joke. And the way that the president and them have seemed to just kind of not cared. Yeah, we've got the vaccine, great, but, now how do we get it to places? The people that are in charge of that don't seem to be doing the things they need to be doing. And what's Trump doing? Well, he's talking with the Secretary of State of Georgia, trying to figure out how he won the election but then lost the election.
Do you think it's possible that they shredded ballots in Fulton County? Because that's what the rumor is. And also that Dominion took out machines.
No, Dominion has not moved any machinery out of Fulton County.
Have they moved the inner parts of the machines and replaced them with other parts?
No.
You sure, Ryan?
I'm sure.
Are you sure? Yeah. Yeah, but are you sure? No, we're 100% sure. Yeah, but are you sure? Yeah, no. Well, I'm hearing that it's happened. No. This, what Trump did, like I said, there's a lot of, first of all, I'm going to tell everybody this if you're new to the program. I don't love any politician. I don't really hate any politician. I'm going to give you an honest thought and opinion based on facts and data. I haven't seen any of the facts and any of the data that they have rolled out, because the facts that they've rolled out there have all been shot down. The facts that they have said, this is what happened. Well, Chad, what about that 26% in that one county where they were wrong?
We debunked the one about, through State Farm Arena. We debunked that with WSB here in Atlanta. Ware County, they reported 26% difference. It was actually 0.26%. So we've continued to debunk this. We believe that truth matters.
Truth matters. Raffensperger, a guy who loves Trump, a guy who is a Republican through and through. Period. Case closed.
I support Republicans. I always have. I probably always will.
This phone call, to me, a bit disturbing. And this right here is a little bit disturbing. And you're going to come, Chad, it was totally fine. Step out of yourself for a moment and say, if the other team did this, what would you feel? If the other team did this, if Obama had done this, if Hillary had done this, what would you say?
People of Georgia are angry. The people of the country are angry. And there's nothing wrong with saying that, that you've recalculated. So, look, all I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have, because we won the state.
But you haven't. And I get pushback because I come up here and I talk about this and I get pushback from people. You should be talking about conservative. No, I should be talking about the truth. What matters is the truth. What you should care about is the truth. If you have real facts, data, and evidence, and you get out there and you show it, then you've got something. You made a phone call to the Secretary of State, which you said all kinds of stuff. And guess who talked the most?
I just preferred not to talk to someone when we're in litigation. We let the lawyers handle it. But we took the call and we had a conversation.
Yeah. Conversation. If you've got the data, the facts, the numbers, the proof, the truth, you take it through the system, the court. And if you prove that out, there's no doubt that not only would Biden have to resign, there would be so much hell to pay that the Democrats would be essentially done. But you haven't been able to do that. You haven't been able to do that because you're so busy running around thinking about, well, I heard this somewhere. I found this somewhere, or this is what I've got from somebody who said something. And I'm sorry. You haven't proved it out. And to do this, to me, is ridiculous. It truly is. Put yourself on the other side. You were pissed at the Democrats because they tried to undo the election. You were angry at the Democrats because they tried to undo the election. And you had every right to be. That was a reach. It was stupid. It was asinine. I said it from day one. The Russia thing was an absolute joke. You had Trump derangement syndrome all over Washington, D.C., all over the media. It was nuts. I called it as I saw it. This is insane.
We hear they're shredding thousands and thousands of ballots. And now what they're saying, oh, we're just cleaning up the office. You know, I don't think that plays.
Mr. President, the problem you have with social media, people can say anything.
No, this isn't social media. This is Trump media.
Oh, it's Trump media, which gets it from social media. If you're not frustrated and you don't have some serious questions about what the president's trying to do here, and I've never said don't fight. I've never said don't look and exhaust everything in every way, shape, or form that you think you can if something was done untowards you. In saying that, though, calling the Secretary of State and who supports you and the Republicans, suing them, asking their governor to resign, doing things like that. Some of the people that you have working for you saying some things that are just horrific about these people. And then telling them, well, you just go find the votes kind of thing. That's disturbing. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at me. Love, hate. Again, do you want truth or do you want affirmation of your belief? Do you want information or affirmation? It's all I ever ask. Because I'm not the affirmation person. I'm not that. I'm not going to sit here and tell you all the things you want to hear, even if those things are wrong, right? That's just not who I am. I don't want to be that person. There's plenty of other shows out there for that. I want to have fun, and I want to talk about stuff that's real, and I want to talk about serious stuff. But at the same time, even if I believe something and it goes against my belief, then that's what that is. That's the truth. And the truth should always win out. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Raycon, best earbuds around. I've got mine. I work out all the time. Got up this morning, worked out hard. I did work out hard, too. I boxed. I got the new Oculus. Boxing. Got up extra early. Had my Raycons in. Did my thing. It was awesome. There's no stems, no wires, none of that stuff. 6 hours of talk time, seamless Bluetooth pairing. And it is the fit that gives you the noise isolation. And that's what, to me, is it separates everything. Half the price of all these other premium earbuds and stuff that's out there. But I'll tell you what, that fit separates all of these things. It is incredible. Truly, it starts well under $100. Get your Raycons now. Buy Raycon.com/Chad. Buy Raycon.com/Chad. Save an extra 15%. The best earbuds around. Buy Raycon.com/Chad. Chad Benson Show.
Welcome to Chad. No, not the country. The institution. The Chad Benson Show.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition. Liftoff.
Now it's time to find out what's trending. What's trending? Yeah, what does that mean? I mean something, right? Like it's trending on the old internet. What's trending? We're trying to figure out what Lizard Squad is. So, Lynn Wood, Lizard Squad. Lynn Wood is one of Trump's. I don't even know what he is. He's suing. He's part of the whole Kraken squad led by Sidney Powell. But apparently, there's some stuff going on with Lizard Squad. I was like, what? First of all, I'm Lizard Squad because I have got lizard stuff. Because I got all the lizards. But I don't know what the whole deal is about Lizard Squad. But apparently some sort of truth that's going to come out about Chief Justice Roberts, and kids, and all kinds of... I don't even know. It's just so bizarre. He even tweeted out earlier, there's some people questioning my sanity in recent days. Now you can understand why. I have no idea what will be done to me or said about me in coming days, but I will rest well tonight for having spoken the truth. Just bizarre. The whole thing's bizarre. I'm sorry, people. That's on Twitter. It's the people that are hanging out with the president. You do start to ask certain questions about some of this stuff. National lockdown trending. Will there be one? Jack Ma. People are wondering where he is. The billionaire, Etsy and all this stuff kind of disappeared. Why is that? He's under scrutiny from the government of China. He hasn't been seen in public for weeks. It's a question. Where is he? Has he disappeared? Tanya Roberts, the seminal 70s and 80s poster. I had to explain to kids what posters are. What do? They don't do anything. They just go on your wall. But she passed away today at 65 years old. Head on over to Google. All kinds of NFL stuff. Producer Phil, are you happy today? You're champions of the least?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Last night, bizarre game. So it was a win for Washington football team, and they're in. A loss meant the Giants were in. They were playing the Eagles. Game was, neck and neck. Fourth quarter starts. Jalen Hurts, the quarterback, who had been quarterbacking the Eagles for the latter part of the season, having overtaken Wentz, was replaced by a guy who was chased all over the field and looked like he was just a guy. And people are upset. Oh, why didn't they leave Hurts? What was the deal? I don't know. It was a bizarre game. But, yes, playoffs this weekend. Triple headers Saturday and Sunday. I'm pumped. One of the games is going to be on Nickelodeon. How cool is that? Chad Benson Show.
Chad Benson Show.
Independent thoughts, independent life. This is Chad Benson.
remember when Sarah Palin was running for vice president and she said, "I can see Russia from my house" during an interview? Well, she never said that. What she really said was this: there are next door neighbors, and you can actually see Russia from land here in Alaska, from an island in Alaska. By the way, you can. It's very different indeed, and yet it's the fake quote that's so famously attributed to her. Misinformation and inaccuracies spread like wildfire, and very little is done to correct the lies being told.
Adam Kinzinger there. Fake news is so real. And you guys want to know, like, here's a perfect example. I have somebody who's direct messaging me talking about how this is all being covered up and it'll never come out because it's being covered up. Well, you got to prove stuff, right? Well, how do you prove it? Well, you prove it, with evidence and in the court of law and all of those kind of things. If that's what you believe actually is happening. We live in a world now where we just seek affirmation. I just want to be affirmed in my belief. I believe in this. This is my belief system. It's no longer, I believe that, but this is who I am, but I believe that. Now it's, this is who I am, that's what I believe, and they're one and the same. And to question me, even if what you're questioning is the truth, is essentially attacking me as an individual. And it's not hard to get people there. There was an article this weekend, the Nashville bomber, about lizard. We were just talking about lizard people. Who the hell are lizard people? That millions of Americans believe that there are lizard people in government. I don't want to say it's true or not, but what I do know is, Alex, I'm just saying, Chad. Alex, no, let me talk. Lizard people and non-conforming amphibians are running this world. Because of all of the stuff in the water, this has happened where we now have non-gender amphibians who have now moved into Congress along with the lizard people. Hi, you can't. That's insane. I'm a lizard person. Literally. I have tons of lizards at my house. That's my hobby. That's my jam. Guys have seen on my Instagram, I'll post more of them. My biggest lizard's almost 7 feet now. Norman. I've got lizards ranging from about a foot all the way up to 7 feet and everywhere in between. Uber rare kinds of lizards. It's awesome. But I don't believe that they're running the world. I tried to give Norman a live mouse a couple weeks ago. He couldn't catch it. Because he's been in captivity since he was born. He's never had to chase anything. I thought, well, this would be neat exercise. Nah. Lizard people running the world. Fake news. Sarah Palin. Because somebody takes one little thing and then runs with it. Somebody takes something and then they twist it a little bit to fit whatever it is they want to have something perceived so they can do what? Start to spread something. It's nuts. We're seeing it now with all of this stuff that's going on with the election.
A few weeks ago, a story spread about the Supreme Court where Person A heard from a clerk in the Supreme Court who overheard Chief Justice Roberts screaming at the conservative judges behind closed doors over the Texas voter fraud case and told them they had to dismiss it. Quite shocking indeed, but again, absolutely untrue. The story was widespread by a conspiracy theorist with a blog, and more disturbingly, an electorate from Texas repeated this made-up story on the floor of the Texas state capitol in a speech filmed on C-SPAN. When a conspiracy theory is repeated like this in an official setting, it makes it seem real to folks.
This is what we were talking about earlier. One of the things that's Lizard Squad or whatever is trending somehow that Lynn Wood is put out there. This is the guy who is part of this Release the Kraken, Sidney Powell going out there and saying that, Chief Justice Roberts and all these powerful people are being, some way, shape or form are being manipulated by blackmail because they've got people that they know have killed children. It doesn't take a lot. It doesn't. And the easiest thing to do is to just say, I believe I'm right. Somebody stole it from me. I can't prove it because they're too powerful for me to prove it, but I know I'm right. You can't. We're not having a conversation. We're not even having an argument at that point in time. It's just okay. You're nobody's. I'm not here to change minds. I want to give you the truth. I'm going to give you my opinion, but I want you to be free thinking, and I want you to do some research if you believe in something. But to do research, you have to step outside yourself. One of the things I wanted people to do last year that I have talked about over and over again was make yourself uncomfortable. If you saw something that you would normally say, oh, that's got to be true, challenge it. Challenge yourself. People won't. And this is where we are. And that's why you got lizard people. Oh, my God, they're everywhere. It is amazing. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us, text the program. You know, the other thing that happens is this insanity of we're going to have a civil war. We're in a cultural civil war right now. We are. We're in a cultural civil war. I do not for a second believe that we're going to become Venezuela. No matter how many times, we're going to become, no, we're not going to become Venezuela. It's just not happening. We're not. Remember, we are a republic. We have 50 different little countries inside of this big country. It's never going to happen. It's just not. We're not going to become Venezuela. We are not going to become some sort of, we're not going to become China squared. It's not going to happen. But we do have a cultural civil war going on. And it's perpetuated by the insanity of what you see in places like Hollywood. Case in point, Chelsea Handler. It's got a new documentary out about her being white and privileged.
Her Netflix documentary is called Hello Privilege, It's Me, Chelsea, confronting race and privilege head on. Why this project on white privilege?
I just kind of had a wake-up call after our 2016 election, and I thought I want to really do something. I took a deep look at my own life and just realized kind of how spoiled and entitled and that I had become, and I wanted to actually take an honest look at it.
Now, this is the woman who said to her ex-boyfriend, you're black, you can't vote for Trump. So think about that for a second. Remember that? So she realized after 2016 something. Okay, what's that thing?
And I started to think about the privilege that I was born with that I've taken for granted my whole life because I thought white privilege was a specific sect of the community, like the Rockefellers and, people who went to Harvard and Yale. I thought my father was a used car dealer. That's not privileged. But obviously, we've learned, unfortunately, over and over again in this country that having being white is an advantage.
I've always said, privilege, no. Advantage, yes. But there's also advantages to being a beautiful woman, a great-looking guy, extra smart, super athletic. You'll find advantages in everything. And let's not forget, for many, 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 many moons, this country was dominated by crackers, white people, Europeans. Oh, so you go to China. Do you have white privilege in China? You do not. Not going to find that in China. You're not going to find that there. Are there advantages? I've always said there's advantages that we could talk about, especially when it comes to sentencing, police, as far as like the criminal justice side of it. 110%. We can talk about things like that. But this is where the Civil War clash is coming. It's absolutely very, very real. But it's a different kind of civil war. It's not we're all taking up arms and fighting each other, which is ridiculous. It's not. This is the culture clash civil war.
If you had a message that I could give to white people who don't understand what white privilege is and that there are many nuances, what would that message be?
You guys know where you come from. You know your history. We don't know that. We got to take like a DNA test where our ancestry come in, and we still don't know if we were related to kings or queens or if we were farmers or if we built houses. We don't know. So you guys know that's the privilege you guys have.
I didn't know where I came from. A lot of people don't. So they got the DNA test now, and everybody thinks it's fun to go and look. And, oh, Chad, you don't do that because you're just giving it to the government to see if you are perfect to be a lizard person. Shut up. I found out last year, or the year before, for my birthday, Jack got me a DNA thing. Because, you're told stuff by your family. But our tree was not really, and sure enough, I found out I'm part Jewish. On my mom's side. And then my nieces and nephews and my little brothers and sisters, they're adopted, they did theirs, and they did a different one. So there's there's Ancestry and then, 23andMe or whatever. And they found out it was even more than that because, it depends on who's taking tests where. Things that I never knew about, didn't know any of that stuff. I'm not saying that there aren't advantages and issues that we need to deal with. It's how we deal with them that has become a bigger issue.
It is a white person's problem. White privilege is our problem to fix. And we keep going to the black community wanting to know what to do. We need to fix it. And we need to be uncomfortable about it because we can afford to be a little bit uncomfortable and have uncomfortable conversations. That's how change happens.
Absolutely, Chelsea. I agree with you. I think everybody needs to be uncomfortable to get to change. If you want to lose weight, you've got to be honest with yourself when you stand on that scale. And you go, I don't want to stand on that scale because I don't want to see how much I really weigh. So what I'll do is I'll continue to put it off and I'll try to eat less and work out a little bit more. And then when I feel comfortable to stand on there and go, whew, you've got to be uncomfortable in a lot of things to make changes. But we all have to come to some realizations that, yeah, you know what? We can go back in history. Blacks have not been treated kindly in America. But they haven't been treated kindly pretty much in a lot of places. We act like we're the only ones who have the sins of slavery. There's so many things, though. That's the problem with this, the culture clash that's going on is one side wants you to feel bad about being white in today's world based on yesterday. And by yesterday, I mean many, 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 many years ago. And that you're the only person and we're the only country that's ever had issues. We can't do that. To move forward, though, we're going to have to stop looking at it in such a way where we have these identity politics and always wanting to separate ourselves and have specific groups for certain things. And when we do that, I see we'll start to move forward. Like I said, were there advantages? Of course there is. There's also advantages to being beautiful. Right? I have news for you, Chelsea. If you're 400 pounds, you're not that funny. Chad. Isn't happening. Right? Isn't happening. 110%. You go and look, and yes, you will find some comics who are overweight, and they use that, and it's kind of funny, but they never rise to certain levels. Chad, that's so true. How dare you say that? I just did, though, didn't I? Such a jerk. Got to be uncomfortable. Right? Got to be fair. If I was 600 pounds, you probably wouldn't be listening to me. If Rush Limbaugh started today, based on the fact that we live in a world now of beauty and instantaneousness, you'd find and be hard-pressed to find. Style matters. Looks matter. There's advantages in all kinds of situations. It's not just about white advantages. But when we start making it only about race, that's when it's just ridiculous. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet, text, love hearing from you. Your love, your hate, but be kind. If you're going to be hateful, we're not going to have a conversation. You want to have a conversation with me, say, Chad, I disagree, then we can do that. But if you tell me to F off and die, probably not going to go well. Chad Benson Show.
I can't take it anymore! Well, get over it. It's time to forge a new path with your very own political cartographer, Chad.
It is a white person's problem. White privilege is our problem to fix. And we keep going to the black community wanting to know what to do. We need to fix it. And we need to be uncomfortable about it because we can afford to be a little bit uncomfortable and have uncomfortable conversations. That's how change happens.
We're just talking about that. We're talking about off air. It's uncomfortable. You got to get uncomfortable. You do. And by the way, because you feel that you're privileged doesn't make everybody else privileged. Just point it out there, Chelsea Handler, because you feel you've made this, this documentary after 2016 that somehow you've got to make it right with the black community. That's a you thing. It's not a me thing. That's a you thing. And that's the problem with so much of what we see with the cancel culture, with all of this stuff is somebody thinks everybody else needs to make it right because they feel some way, shape, or form they'll protest too much. It feels. I mean, I watched The Soul this weekend, which was an amazing movie. If you've not seen it, it's on Netflix. Not Netflix, it's on Disney+. And Jamie Foxx is incredible. But Tina Fey. So I'm not going to give it away, but Tina Fey plays like the other main character, and she's just a blob. She's a soul that never wants to find their host, if you will. And Jamie Foxx is brilliant. The whole cast is amazing. But people are like, oh, that's blackface. She played a light green blue blob. That's nothing face. But that's where we are. That's the kind of insanity that we live in. When we start to only see things in color while everybody tells us not to see things in color. It's nuts. It truly is. It's sad that we're in this position because we could have real conversations about stuff. Taking point, Rizwan Manji, Canadian actor who played Ray Butani on Schitt's Creek. It's Schitts. Just let you guys know that.
Oh, hi. Come on in. Sorry, I was just baking. As you can see, I'm Ray Butani, proud owner of Ray's Real Estate, Travel, and Photography. Of all my businesses, Ray's real estate is my number one passion.
He's been criticized for that. He's a Asian actor. He's from Canada, but of Asian descent. And people are thinking, it's Indian, Pakistan, also part of Asia. Think of that way. And he's playing something where they're like, I can't believe he did that. I can't believe he played it that way. No, he played kind of what was partly real, right? But somehow that's bad. And somehow he's now in trouble in the cancel culture world. And this is the stuff that's insane. This is what we need to fight against. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. By the way, a great show if you've never seen it. Chad Benson Show.
This is the Chad Benson Show. Independent thoughts, independent life. This is Chad Benson.
Happy New Year! Merry New Year! I watched that this weekend. I haven't seen Trading Places in forever. And it was on for one of the games I was watching. And I got sucked into it. Because I was a commodities broker at one time. And it was just awesome. Hope you had a good, fun, safe Christmas, New Year, Hanukkah, whatever it is you celebrate. Hope you did. I went kind of off the grid. Just really didn't do anything, which is normal me. I don't do a lot of stuff. I work a lot. I play some golf. I work out, hang out with the family, and hang out with my lizards. Not the lizard people, Just actual lizards, monitors, varanus. So, hung out with my lizards, just did nothing, got an Oculus. If you guys got an Oculus for the kids, thought, I'm going to try it. I'm addicted. It's awesome. I box, I bowl. They got Top Golf. They got the Beat Saber. If you've never done that, it's just fun. It's a trip. You're in your living room. I boxed. I woke up this morning and I boxed. It was great. Great fitness. A lot of fun. But it was nice to go off the grid. Over the weekend, I'm like, all right, we're going to get back into it. So what's been happening? So, and I joked. I'm like, is the election still going on? I know we still have COVID, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, the election's still being fought. And Trump decided, hey, I'm going to call the old Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger. His lawyer's going to be there, too. We're going to have an hour-long talk.
Do you think it's possible that they shredded ballots in Fulton County? Because that's what the rumor is. And also that Dominion took out machines.
No, Dominion has not moved any machinery out of Fulton County.
Have they moved the inner parts of the machines and replaced them with other parts?
No.
You sure, Ryan?
I'm sure.
That's Ryan Germany. Oh, see, it's a German. Knew it right there, Chet. No, Ryan Germany is the attorney for Brad Raffensperger, who is the Secretary of State, who we all know is an evil Democrat.
I support Republicans.
What?
I always have.
No.
I probably always will.
No way. Yeah. But he made a call. It was about an hour long.
No, I never believed it was appropriate to speak to the president, but he pushed out. I guess he had his staff push us, and they wanted to call.
So he made a call. All kinds of stuff that's said. Crazy stuff.
We believe that we do have an accurate election.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't have. Not even close. You know what they did, and you're not reporting it. That's a criminal offense. You can't let that happen. That's a big risk to you and to Ryan, your lawyer. That's a big risk. They are shredding ballots, in my opinion, based on what I've heard, and they are removing machinery, both of which are criminal fines, and you can't let it happen, and you are letting it happen. I'm notifying you that you're letting it happen.
I know you don't believe this to be true. You found no evidence of this anywhere in the world. But I'm letting you know it happened. Well, it hasn't happened. No, but I'm letting you know. But it hasn't happened. But I'm letting you know it happened. But it hasn't. No, but what I'm telling you is, in my opinion, your opinion doesn't count. Facts matter. Truth matter. Opinion doesn't matter. It just doesn't. And we've got to the point now where opinion is the only thing that matters. My opinion is this. My opinion is this. Okay, that's your opinion. Now, what's it based on? It's based on my belief. Okay, but is it based on facts and truth? No, it's just based purely on belief of something I want to be true. Sometimes your opinion's right because you knew it was right and you're not afraid to check and see if it was right. But opinion matters if your opinion's based on facts and truth. Otherwise, it's just this is something I'd like to be true. And in my mind, it's true, even if your facts debunk everything that I think happened. Then Trump said, hey, I got a better idea. Just go get me some votes.
People of Georgia are angry. The people of the country are angry. And there's nothing wrong with saying that, that you've recalculated. So, look, all I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have, because we won the state.
Now, it's not, you go and listen. I listened to a good majority of it on my way. I have an hour driving. So I listened to a good majority of it. He praised him at times. At other times, he blasted him. I mean, he's Trump. He's all over the place. Look, the phone call itself is, you're going to get the people on there. Oh, don't listen to it. Everything he did was fine. It was totally normal. They're in the middle of litigation. You shouldn't be talking to him. Most lawyers would tell you that. But he's the president, so you take his phone call. But you have to have truth. You have to have the facts and the data to back up these things. And these allegations have been all over the place, and they've been wild, and they've been crazy, and they've been unproven over and over again.
We hear they're shredding thousands and thousands of ballots. And now what they're saying, oh, we're just cleaning up the office.
Where do you hear that? Who's telling you that? Who are the people that are saying they're shredding thousands upon thousands of ballots, and they did so before? I'm curious.
I don't think that plays.
Well, Mr. President, the problem you have with social media, people can say anything.
No, this isn't social media. This is Trump media.
Okay. These are people who back me. Raffensperger and his lawyer, Ryan Germany. What a name, right? What was Michael Vick's name? Was it Don Mexico? Juan Mexico? John?
Ronnie Mexico.
Ronnie Mexico. Ryan Germany's pretty awesome, too. Hey, it's Ryan Germany and Ron Mexico. What's up, guys? All that being said, they had to debunk him about a lot of stuff.
We debunked the one about, through State Farm Arena. We debunked that with WSB here in Atlanta. Ware County, they reported 26% difference. It was actually 0.26%. So we continue to debunk this. We believe that truth matters.
Wait. What?
Yes, we believe that truth matters.
What?
We believe that truth matters. We believe that truth matters.
Yeah, it does. If you believe it to be, doesn't make it so. If you have the facts to back it up, then that matters, because that will be the truth. If the Democrats did something to steal the election and there is proof to that, it will be found. It will be found. And if you think that will never be found because they're so good at it, then you need to hire a better team. You need to hire a better team. He lost. It's what it is. You hate America. That's what I love. Chad, you hate America. Really? Why? Because you want us to be like Venezuela. Shut up. I love my country. I've been fortunate enough, unlike a lot of other people, to live in other countries. I love my country. I lived in good countries. But I love my country. I love it. It's the greatest place in the world. We have our flaws like everybody else, but I would not want to live anywhere else. We have issues? Of course. Everybody has issues. Here's the reality, though. Because you support Trump doesn't make you an extra patriot. It doesn't. You hate the process, I feel like, is being somewhat undermined here. I think we can all agree with that. You got the Senate that wants to go out there and try to overthrow this, Ted Cruz and several others.
I've talked to at least 10 Republicans, probably more, who've said they're just not going to do that. That's their constitutional duty is to show up and affirm what happened in the states. It's not their responsibility to decide the outcome of this election.
No, but some feel like we're protecting. Well, if you have the facts and data, it's easy to show it. But they haven't. And here we are. All the while this is going on, coronavirus is spreading. All the while this is going on, people are struggling. All the while this is going on, people are trying to find out, why don't we have the vaccines the way that we thought we were going to have the vaccines? Why are we talking about now splitting vaccines up? We're just giving people one shot. Why are we doing these things this way? Why aren't we moving forward the way that we should? Now, some of those are states' issues. The federal level, though, the vaccine is right there. We've got a lot of issues. We're still fighting over this. We're still trying to overturn something. And yeah, there's been a bit of a derelict of duty over the last several weeks since the election, where Trump only seems to care about the election. That's why you hire other people to go fight this battle. That's the reality of it. I was willing to listen, but when you lost lawsuit after lawsuit, when you rolled out people that were like, they were mean to me, and I'll sign an affidavit, and then everything gets blown out of the water after a while, not paying attention anymore. I don't hate Trump. Not a Trump hater. Never have been. I think he's done some amazing things. I've also think he's messed up. Guess what? Every president will. Biden will do some stuff. I think, that's pretty good. And he's going to do some other stuff and go, wow, he really screwed up on that one. Or I disagree on that one. But this is one of those things where, you know what? I'm not a fan of the phone call. Regardless if it was above board and everything, I wouldn't be. When you're going out there saying, just go find me some votes. And you're continuing to tell the people, no, that's not true. You're a liar, essentially. I hate to break it to you. They're doing all these things. They're there. You're not. They support you. And yet still, you're fighting this fight. And tomorrow, you got a big runoff. This will decide a lot. And you've turned a lot of people off in Georgia, and a lot of Republicans may stay home, and you may hand the Democrats the Senate. Think about that. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us, text the program. Love hearing from each and every one of you. It's the Chad Benson Show.
I'm so tired. I'm exhausted.
If you're part of the politically exhausted majority, don't fear. Your time to be validated and rejuvenated is here. Wake up. It's the Chad Benson Show.
Dawn Wells played the small-town girl Marianne on Gilligan's Island.
Gilligan, do you feel all right?
But the former Miss Nevada in 1959 was more than just the girl in the red and white checkered dress. She appeared in over 150 TV shows, 7 films, and dozens of theater performances from Los Angeles to Broadway. And she was known for her charity work with the Elephant Sanctuary. The actress died Wednesday morning in Los Angeles from complications due to COVID-19. Dawn Wells was 82.
The movie star, Professor and Marianne, here on Gilligan's Isle.
Only one left. Tina Blacker or Tina Louise. Ginger Grant is all that's left. Dawn Wells passed away. All that left now is the seductress redhead, who I never figured out. Why are you on this boat? Why are really, really rich people on the boat? And this, like Dawn Wells, right? You could see. Okay, I get it. You're the farm girl, Midwest. You want to go. But Ginger, why are you there? We get why she's here. She wants to go on a trip. She's from the Midwest. She's never been to the ocean. We get that. But you, why? I never figured out why the Globetrotters went there. Oh, Chad. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us, text the program. Hope you had a good, well, I guess it's a holiday season anymore. Is that what you have to say? Like, I was thinking the other day, I'm like, can you even say Happy New Year? Because it's not New Year for everybody. So, happy change of certain calendars for some people. Is that what we're going to go with? Did you travel?
Between Friday, December 18th and Sunday, January 3rd, almost 18 million people went through TSA security checkpoints at U.S. airports. That is way beyond what was expected. AAA had been forecasting 2.9 million in total would travel by air. The TSA screened 1.3 million people yesterday alone, a new pandemic record as travelers went home. Now, health officials worry the country will see another spike in COVID cases after so many people were together for holiday gatherings.
Yeah, which they're probably going to do. We'll see that. People are frustrated. They're tired. They don't believe the noise anymore. They think that, and I get it. I do. I absolutely get it. I think you look out there and you've heard 55,000 different things. You've sacrificed a lot, as has everybody, and some people have sacrificed a lot more. And some people, well, they've done okay. But a lot of people are over it. You know, I haven't seen my mom, and I haven't seen them in a year. Just under a year. I've got a new niece that is going to be 8 months old, heading towards a year, maybe a little bit older than that. She might be 10 months old. I've never met her. And my little sister and I are super close. It is frustrating. And I think a lot of people are just like, I don't care anymore. I'm going to do what I do. And I could care less what happens. Because they're exhausted. We have that exhaustion of COVID, of restrictions, of mask wearing, of all of that. And you saw it with travel. You did. You saw it with travel. Plus, in some cases, you had a lot of kids going home. I know several friends who had their kids in college who were coming home and will not be going back for the rest of the year. So there was some of that travel. But a lot of it, people just didn't care. They had made plans and they were like, you know what? I'm going. So there. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Talk a little New Year's resolutions. Set resolutions? Do you set goals? We're going to touch on that. That's difference right there, people. There's a difference. There is. Plenty of it. Talk a little COVID as well. We'll talk about I had an antibody test. My second one. Find out what the results are. I'll tell you about that as well. Text me, 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us. Text the program. Check out the Instagram, Chad Benson Show TV. Facebook as well. It is the Chad Benson Show.
Chad Benson Show.
Independent thoughts, independent life. This is Chad Benson.
We've isolated multiple examples of the mutant being in this country, so there's no doubt it's here, and there's no doubt, given the efficiency of its ability to spread, that it's going to spread. What we're hearing from our UK colleagues is that although it does transmit much more readily than the standard strain, it does not appear to be more virulent, namely making people sicker or greater incidence of dying, nor does it seem to elude the protection that's offered by the antibodies that are induced by the vaccine.
Yeah, there's that. Fauci talking about, the new mutant strain. Not the mutant. Oh, my God, wait, hold on a second. If I catch one, I get to be a mutant? What kind of powers do you want, Chad? I don't know. My New Year's resolution is to have super awesome powers. This may be the thing I'm looking for. What kind of powers? What if I caught the old strain? Right, so I went OS, original strain. What if I caught that? Probably fight off this too. So I had a second antibodies test, and guess what? I had it. When? Don't know. Had it though. That's for sure. So. And I was talking to the I have no idea. Did you ever feel weird? I'm like, no, I never miss any days of work. I wear my mask. I socially distance. I do the thing I'm supposed to. By the way, the social distance thing, people are like, because I get this. I can't believe you socially distance. I don't think you understand. That's my choice. People joke around work. Chad's life hasn't changed that much. No, I love to golf in the summer out here in Phoenix. Why? I'm the only one on the course. It's 110 degrees. I'm out there. And I'll play 5-6 balls at once. I'll get to a place. I'll play, okay, cool. I'm going to try 5 or 6 chip shots from here. I love when I go out and work out by myself. I go play soccer. I run around by myself. These are things, that's kind of my normal thing. You'll see, that's kind of me anyways. But I wear my mask. It's not like I go shopping all the time. I mean, nothing has changed. I really even, and I've said, I've been, it was like, well, it is what it is. And I said, so how long will I have the immunity for it? And he says, some people say they still don't know. That, it could be 6 months, it could be a year. A lot of other people in the profession, epidemiologists, doctors, researchers, say it could be very well like SARS, where, 17 years on, people still test positive for the antibodies. Now, when I had it, I don't know. But here we are. Is it going to get better or worse in the coming weeks and months? Well, we just talked about the travel season, and I do believe that Fauci's right here.
Do you agree that the worst is still yet to come?
You know, I do. The reason I'm concerned, and my colleagues in public health are concerned also, is that we very well might see a post-seasonal, in the sense of Christmas, New Year's surge. And as I've described it, as a surge upon a surge, when you're dealing with a baseline of 200,000 cases, new cases a day, and about 2,000 deaths per day, with the hospitalizations are over 120,000, we're really at a very critical point.
And I think it is. We had a lot of travel. I think a lot of people were just kind of over all of the things that were happening and just said, screw it, I'm going to go live my life. And I'm not going to blame people for that. I'm never going to tell you to take the vaccine. I would never tell anybody. You do you. I want you to live your life, because I know there's a lot of hosts out there. I'm going to tell you what you want to hear, and I'm going to tell you that we're the only people that are right, and I'm going to tell you how evil the other side is, and that you need to go do these things. I will never do that. It's just so silly. I get why people travel. I get why people did things. It's been a frustrating year. You know, I've been fortunate that my son's doing homeschool, so he gets to come out here for 4 or 5 weeks at a time rather than just in the summer, me going out there every other weekend to San Diego. That's been a blessing. But I understand why people have done that. At the end of the day, I do think the first 2-3 months of what's coming is going to look ugly in some states, not all states. Some states, for whatever reason, They've had their ebbs and flows. We had it here in Arizona. We had nothing. Then we had some spikes, and it was pretty ugly for the beginning of the summer and stuff. Towards the back end of the summer, it kind of fell off, and then boom, up it goes again. I think you're going to see some states kind of skate through this, but other states are going to take a huge hit. And some states are going to do none of the things. They're going to stay mostly open. And for whatever reason, they're not going to be affected like other states. But it's how good is the systems healthcare-wise that is going to play a lot into this. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us, text the program. Hope to hear from each and every one of you. New Year's resolutions. Now, I do goals. I don't do resolutions. I do goals. What are your goals? And I set it out. I get vision boards. I get the whole thing. That's what I do. So I've always done. I believe it. That's it. So I've got my goals. Got a new goal book. But the resolutions, top 10 resolutions, almost always. Here we go. Exercising more and losing weight. Improving diet. Number one, always. When you do, I got lost 23 pounds. Also the one that breaks the quickest. Saving money. Hard to do. Still number one this year. Still one of the ones that are top 10. Spending more time with the family. Some people by choice. Some people by no choice. Making a career move. Some people by choice. Some people by no choice. This one's interesting. Renovating their home. I think part of that is because we're all sitting around. We're like, oh, yeah. Yeah, we're sitting around. We're like, I got nothing else going on. I better make my house look better. Getting a new hobby. Spending less time on social media and drinking less. Round it out. How many of you out there are jumping into those? To think the drinking one's like, look, once we get through this, I will totally, right now, my liver could be in trouble. Spending less time on social media is, the 10 days or so that we were off, I think I tweeted like 3 times. I didn't look at social media. I didn't care to look at social media. And it was freeing. Social media could be a good thing. The problem is with social media is we've allowed angry people to connect with each other and attack other people who, in many cases, are just as angry but for different reasons, and fight with one another. And it's frustrating. It is. It is absolutely frustrating. I mean, I'll throw something out there because to me, it's always kind of a study. Like my Facebook, like Twitter is more diverse for my listeners. For whatever reason, my Facebook audience is First of all, they have no sense of humor. Most of them have zero sense of humor, which always scares me because I always think the first toppling of a regime comes with sense of humor. There's a great book out about Lenin and, the communist. Here he is. And in the book, it talks over and over again about the fact that he had absolutely no sense of humor. He had no humor in him. He didn't like things that were funny. He never found anything funny. And he was always serious. That's a topper. That's like should be the top thing of things you look out for in how something's going to go. Whether it's a relationship, whether that's a perfect example. And when you start to lose your sense of humor, we've lost it. Cancel culture is causing us to lose sense of humor. People are terrified to say anything or do anything. Everything is always serious. You can't make jokes about anything, anywhere. Doesn't matter what side of the aisle. And when you lose that, that's a scary thing. But taking time off social media is great. It is. Outside of a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and then the one thing I sent over the weekend where I said, I guess I should start looking and see what's going on. And then the next thing you know, oh, Chad, you don't even know what's happening once again. And then the craziness of being attacked. And you're just like, you're gone for 2 minutes. You could put a rock out there. Take a picture and put a rock out there. And people will be like, let's fight over that. That's definitely a red rock. No, it's a blue rock. It's a red rock. It's a blue rock. That rock stole my votes.
People of Georgia are angry. The people of the country are angry. And there's nothing wrong with saying that, that you've recalculated. So, look, all I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have, because we won the state.
Did you? Did you win the state? No, Trump. You haven't shown that you won the state. But if you could just find me like 12,000 votes, I mean, give or take. 150 on each side. Give or take. I'm good with that. Don't make it look obvious like we won by one. What if you found this? Now, let me ask you a question. What if they found 11,780 votes and you won by one? You wouldn't think that's suspicious? You wouldn't at all think that's suspicious. I'm just curious. It's crazy. It is. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. And I'm smiling about it and laughing about it. And I can guarantee you I'm going to get blasted by a bunch of people. You're not a patriot. That's my favorite thing. I'm not a patriot. How dare you question Trump? And I'm like, why are you on my radio station? That's also a good one. This is a conservative-only radio station. You're a horrible conservative. I never said I was conservative. I'm independent. I'm a free thinker. It's crazy. You should try it. It's weird. It's all like, oh my God, it's freeing. But I can already tell you what people are going to come at. And then they're not interested in anything other than arguing and screaming louder. They don't want to have a conversation. Because if they found out something new that challenged their belief, that would... They feel like that was a direct attack on them, and they don't want that. I don't know. Maybe they feel embarrassed. I don't know what it is. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet, text. Simple and easy. Check out all the social medias. You'll laugh. And some of what I just said, you go, oh, my God, Chad, I went and followed you, and you were right. Some of these people have no sense of humor, and some of these people are pretty fair, and some of these people are insane. That's social media right there. It's a grab bag of weird. It is. Chad Benson Show.
Don't let the Washington Beltway strangle you. This is where the exhausted majority comes to refuel, realign, and reevaluate. This is Chad Benson.
If a store thinks they can't turn a profit on a returned item, they'll send them to a re-commerce website like Blink or Shorewood Liquidators Slybuy, which will inspect and photograph the items and resell them at a fraction of the retail price. On Slybuy, an auction site that works like eBay, shoppers can place bids on items for sales starting at just $1.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. That's how people do their side hustle. You should go out, you have a little bit of money, and you're like, you know what? You bid on pallets or you bid on certain things. Got some buddies who did it last year. They're like, yeah, dude, we were just, our business was slowing down. We started doing this and we're killing it. I'm like, it's if you can. It's a hustle. But some of these things you'll find, like, yeah, they're not going to turn a profit over here on this thing, so they'll take a write-off on it. Why are they sending it if they can't turn a profit, and why would you be buying something? Because a store's going to take a write-off on something, right? So that write-off, you got to think about this in a much different term than whether they have a profit. It'll be easier for them to go, you know what, let's write off this $100 item, and we'll sell a bunch of these things back to these guys. So we can't make a profit. It cost $100. We're going to sell it to them for $6. We'll take a $94 loss that we can add towards our bottom line later on to either get us big breaks in taxes, right? Or we roll it over for the next couple of years and we can continue to eat off as much tax and profit as we possibly can. That's what they do in the healthcare industry. An aspirin doesn't cost $100. But if I tell you it's $10 or $100 for an aspirin and you say, fine, I'll dispute it. Well, how about $1? I'm going to write off that $99 because I've placed $100 value on that thing. And then those people will go and they'll sell it for $6. And they bought it, they'll sell it for $10. They bought it for $6. They've made a $4 profit. And you may go sell it for $20. It's crazy, right? Interesting. It is. A little something there. A little something, something. Speaking of something, something, tonight, it starts.
Here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Trebek.
Alex Trebek hosted the syndicated game show Jeopardy for over 36 years, and this week we'll see that come to an end. Trebek died from pancreatic cancer in November and taped episodes of Jeopardy until 10 days before his death. We'll see those final 5 shows this week, with the last one ever hosted by Trebek airing Friday. Then, starting a week from today, Jeopardy will feature guest hosts, starting with former champ Ken Jennings, until a replacement for Trebek is named.
Welcome. Good luck. Let's go to work.
Yeah. Now, who will be the replacement? It's very interesting. We touched on it earlier, and this is something that is interesting and has always been, to me, is usually you never want to be the guy after the guy, the lady after the lady. Like, if Gail Gadot says, I don't want to do any more Wonder Woman, they're going to compare. Who's the next one? You never want to be that person. But especially with somebody who is iconic. Because in some of these things nowadays, they change them all the time, so it's not a big deal. It's more about the character. This isn't one of those things. He did 8,000 shows. He was the face of that for 30 years. So Ken Jennings talked about it. I said my money would have been on him. Well, here's the thing. It's no longer about could you do the job? Would you be great at the job? How good would you be? Would you be great at whatever it is in a high-profile position? Now it's, have you done or said something in the past, even if it was at the time okay, but now may be received as something wrong or something that somebody took out of context and wants to hammer you? Could this be a black eye in your chances of getting this? Not whether or not you're qualified. Ken Jennings, already now, today, Ken Jennings may have botched his chance at hosting Jeopardy. What? Yeah. Apparently on Sunday, Twitter users decried Jennings' Omnibus podcast co-host, not him, John Roderick, who's been nicknamed Bean Dad, for refusing to open a can of beans for his child for 6 hours. People then unearthed older tweets from Roderick that included anti-Semitic remarks as well as racist and homophobic language. When asked about these tweets, Jennings doubled down. He wrote on Twitter, if we're word searching through old tweets now, it's pretty easy to find what he actually thinks about anti-Semitism. On our show, he's always been pro-Israel one. And when he was told this was the worst response possible. Oh, my God. What do you mean? Well, what he's saying is they've addressed it, but it doesn't matter. They've run with it because it's about, why didn't you talk about this 3 months ago, 6 months ago, 9 months ago? Because now's the chance when you feel you've got a gotcha moment. And in cancel culture, so much of it is about punishing other people because they've done something that you haven't done. Are there people out there who've got serious issues? Yes. Do I think Ken Jennings being in a podcast with somebody who did something several months, years ago, he should be held responsible? Well, apparently in today's world, that's the way it is. Have a blessed day. We'll do it again tomorrow. Night, Jack.
This is the Chad Benson Show.